women's race to secure that title. So taking it away from Italy, who are the defending champions. Can the men follow suit? So we'll look to run you through some of the leading protagonists. We talked about Mo Farah, the national record holder, the double Olympic champion. He's the only man in this field who's gone inside 27 minutes before. But Hannah England, just a man that, you know, much to criticism myself, we're yet to mention, Mark Scott, enjoying a breakout season. He's the second fastest in this field on paper as regards to Mo being the quickest. But the key thing for Mark Scott is he's got to be on cloud nine given his performance of late. We've seen a 13:10 5,000 metres and a 27:10 10,000 metres. Mo's going to have to respect this man and his own teammate this evening.
Mark Scott is certainly the man in form. He's done some fantastic times in the last 12 months. Really made a bit of a breakthrough in 2018 with fifth place at the European Championships, and has just moved on so much since then. And this year will be his first real test on the international stage, and that journey starts tonight. So those two are the ones for the qualifying time. If they finish top two, they'll get that automatic Olympic qualification for the British team. But I think there's some really competitive. It's going to be a really competitive race between Mark Scott and Mo Farah tonight. They want the bragging rights of British 10,000 metre champion, which is on the line today.
But someone with supreme confidence leading Mark Scott at this point, and it just adds so much anticipation, Tom, to this race.
Well, the rule book's gone out the window, Hannah, isn't it? Because the example that's been set in all the races up to this is start out even, keep it ticking over. But this is really going to be interesting because on paper, the only athletes who can live with this pace are Mohamed Farah and Mark Scott. Aduni it is, who's just tailing those Brits, so it's British 1-2, but France in third place. And Mo Farah, as Hannah's rightfully pointed out, is more than comfortable sitting a bit back from that leader. If anyone's watched Mo Farah's 10,000 metre races, certainly a major championship rival, he likes to take control inside that final mile and really just ratchet up the pace, particularly close to pretty much a sub 4 minute mile finishing speed. That's what it takes to become a double Olympic champion. Athletes in this A race, but he's the man who's sticking to the task so far and no doubt benefiting from at least being in that group of athletes working together. But it's another 400 metre circuit completed. They have 15, well, just shy of 15 laps remaining. And David McNeil, the Australian,
well, he's really being thrown into the deep end, Jake Smith, and is battling there, but yeah, Farah's battling as well. The pace is getting quicker. It was 2:46, then 2:43 and 2:42 through 4K as we come up to 5.
So we're through halfway and just inside 13:40. So yeah, the pace is hot. It's operating in and around that 27-minute 20, but as we saw quite sensationally and emotionally in the women's A race, how much can be gained if you have still got another gear to go through those final 800 metres, which the previous form guide would suggest that Mo Farah is certainly someone who likes to keep something in reserve, Alex. Who was, from what we understand, what we were told pre-race, he was only required to go to 5,000 metres. He's done an exceptional job in actually going pretty much close to a kilometre further. So he's setting it on the race as it needed to be done. The pace is there. Amdouni is on the lights, and it's now up to that chasing pack, Alex, if they want to, from a team perspective, try and upset the apple cart from France, and Britain if they want to take that individual honours in that European Cup 10,000 metres. So just to remind you, if you are just joining us, this is the Muller British Athletics 10,000 metre championships, which incorporate the Olympic trials as well as the European Cup 10,000 metres. Morhad Amdouni of France is our race leader. So at the moment, he's been looking to take home individual European Team Cup honours. But from a British athletics point of view, the intriguing prospect at the moment that's playing itself out is that only the top two athletes can guarantee selection for Tokyo at the moment. Mohamed Farah leads the race, the double Olympic champion, but he does not yet have a qualifying mark.
Evening. Bashir Abdi has just put a spurt in. Carlos Mayo is doing his best to go with him. He's not quite on him, but Bashir Abdi, I think, will be looking down the track towards Amdouni and probably reeling him in now. Amdouni does look fatigued. He's slipping off those green lights for the first time. He looks laboured. He's got that half marathon strength that might pull him through. He's got these lap runners to look at. But for me, Bashir Abdi of Belgium is clawing back Amdouni of France with every metre that goes by. As you can see, the lap runners, respectfully, they're moving into lane 2 to give Amdouni that inside lane and the shortest line. But Bashir Abdi coming through the bell now not the bell, apologies. Pulling through the line now, about 7 seconds behind with Carlos Mayo for company, and Mo Farah coming through with 5 laps to go as well. He is off the Olympic qualifying time at the moment. I think Carlos Mayo will be happy every lap that ticks off. He has run 10,000 metres before, but he's more accomplished over the lower distances. And as you see, he'll be coming up to 1k to go there with Bashir Abdi. And Amdouni looks tired at every 100 metres that goes by. He made a brave bid to get that gap, to stay on those green lights, but he's going to pay the price. For me, I think Bashir Abdi and Carlos Mayo are going to be overtaking him anytime now.
And it's all changed in the European Team Cup perspective, Alex Steftel, because for one point it looked very comfortable for British Athletics, but Mark Scott is going to be swallowed up by that 28-minute pace second chasing group, and in there are 2 French athletes.
Yeah, that's right. The latest calculations, 8.5k, that France were actually 8 seconds in front as far as that aggregate time was concerned, but could all change as we know.
It's Mayo from Abdi, from Amdouni. It's going to be these 3 that decide out the podium positions from the European Team Cup perspective. It's a fascinating team battle behind the intriguing story as regards to Mo Farah. Is his career arguably over? Because it doesn't look as though he's going to achieve that Olympic qualifying time that would guarantee himself a spot on the plane. From a British Athletics trial perspective, Mark Scott is no longer in the second British athlete position, so even he hasn't guaranteed his qualifying spot. But we'll part the British Athletics perspective until that plays out in front of us, because out in front, Mayo of Spain, he's digging deep. You can see the amount of work he's having to try and break Abdi, and also Amdouni, the Frenchman, who's maybe taken a little breather. Hannah England, just a quick comment as regards to how do you see this one playing out? If you were a betting lady, who would you put your money on right now?
Bashir Abdi. You gave me the crucial 5 seconds. Abdi looking good there for me, and Carlos Mayo potentially a little bit hard too early. And as you see, Bashir Abdi swinging around the lead with 100 to go, but Amdouni, who did so much of that leading, is not ready to give up this race yet.
So it's Amdouni, the reigning European 10,000 metre champion. He becomes the European Cup 10,000 metre champion. From Abdi, from Mayo, all 3 of those inside the Olympic qualifying standard. Similar to the scenes we saw with Jessica Judd, the Spaniard breaks down in front of us, tears of emotion. He has ran out of his skin. But this is going to be really fascinating how it plays out for the team stakes, because Mo Farah, Mark Scott, they've all been swallowed up, and Mark Scott it is who's rallied. It looks as though Mark Scott's going to be able to seal his place on the plane to Tokyo. He's done it. He is the British Athletics 10,000 metre champion. He's the seat on the plane for Tokyo. Mo Farah is outside of that qualifying standard, so it's going to be really fascinating to see how that plays out.